NBC News was even worse. NBC News put up the body cam footage. They took out the part with the knife, and they took out the part from the 911 call where somebody actually reported that the girl had a knife in the first place. They just cut it out. The media are rooting for the cops to go down. That is all this is. The media are openly rooting for this stuff right now. Here's the edited clip from NBC News.
Police body cam video shows Ma'Khia Bryant's final moments when a Columbus, Ohio police officer responding to a call gets out of his car and seconds later fatally shoots the 16-year-old girl. Officer Nicholas Reardon, who joined the force in December of 2019, was responding to a 911 call.
We need a police officer here now.
Video shows Reardon approaching a group of young people in this driveway.
It wasn't just NBC News, right? CNN. There are growing questions, according to Wolf Blitzer, about what just happened in Columbus. Well, now, it seems to me that once you know what happened, there actually should be lessening questions, should there not? There should be a decrescendo of questioning, considering that we now know that the cop shot a black girl who was attempting to stab another black girl. But here's the thing. If the cop had never shown up and Ma'Khia Bryant had stabbed the other girl to death, nobody would have cared. Nobody would have cared. Nobody in the media, nobody in Black Lives Matter, not LeBron James, not the White House. They wouldn't have given two damns about that girl's life. How do I know? How do I know? I know that because it did happen, okay, in Cincinnati, Ohio, 2 days ago. A 13-year-old girl was stabbed to death. 13-year-old black girl was stabbed to death by another 13-year-old girl. This is not a national news story because no one cares if a black person stabs another black person to death and they're both 13. Nobody cares. If the cop had shown up and shot the 13-year-old black girl who's stabbing the other girl, then it would be a national news story about systemic police racism. Here's a story that actually matters from Cincinnati, Ohio, because it turns out that the homicide statistics in Black America are devastating, are crippling. The number of Black Americans killed unarmed by the police every year is under 20. The number of Black Americans who are killed in homicides every year is thousands upon thousands. I mean, we were talking in the year 2019 alone, about 7,500 Black Americans who were killed in homicides. The vast majority of those people were killed by other Black people because most crime in America is intraracial. I mean, seriously, this true absurdity that we are supposed to pay attention only when a cop is involved demonstrates that this is not about saving Black lives, not in the slightest. It's about the reverse. It's about we don't care if more Black people get killed so long as we dismantle the cops. It is just anti-cop hatred. Here is this case from Cincinnati. Ain't nobody going to pay attention to this because it was just a 13-year-old black girl whose life mattered also, but not to the media because it wasn't ended by a cop.
I held her. I watched her as she died. I watched her and held her. All I could do was just hold her. Hold her.
Devastation, heartache, loss.
I tried. To stop the bleeding.
Are you devastated by that? Because you should be devastated by that. It turns out that Nyara Givens, which is the name of the girl who was stabbed, you should say her name much more often than you say the name of the girl who was attempting to stab another girl and got shot by the police. Nyara Givens didn't do anything. She was just stabbed to death. But you don't care about that in the media. That's not national. That's a local crime story. It's not a national news story. It's just amazing. But don't worry, the questions are growing in Columbus. Not in Cincinnati, in Columbus. Here's Wolf Blitzer talking about the growing questions in Columbus.
We're also following developments in Columbus, Ohio, where there are now growing questions about the deadly police shooting of 16-year-old African-American Ma'Khia Bryant. Police are releasing more body camera video that appears to show Bryant wielding a knife, and officers warning her several times to get down before she seems to lunge at another girl, and police open fire.
Okay. The growing seems to lunge, not lunges. Okay, and it was across the media. It was just lying about the case, just lying about it, outright. Pretty incredible. MSNBC's Jason Johnson, he misleads about the case too, because that's what he does.
Ma'Khia Bryant, a 16-year-old girl in Columbus, Ohio, called the police for help. An officer was on the scene, and in 22 seconds, he shot her dead. An honor roll student who's making TikTok videos on makeup and hair. This hasn't stopped.
Oh, it was... Yeah, just makeup videos. That's all she was doing. Also attempting to stab another girl with a knife. But other than that, the same. The same. The defenses are coming fast and furious from people of Ma'Khia Bryant's activities. The TikTok thing, again, this is what the media do. They seize on one detail of a particular case and then claim that this has something to do with the case. Right? For Trayvon Martin, it was the hoodie and the Skittles, and for Ma'Khia Bryant, it's TikTok videos. That's irrelevant to why the cop shot her. The cop didn't shoot her because she was making TikTok videos. He shot her because she was trying to stab another girl. We're in a battle for the culture and for our values. Like and subscribe to help keep our videos on the front line of the fight and top of your feed.